Capricorn, welcome to your new moon reading. So we have the new moon going into Pisces in a few days on March 13th. And so the new moon in Pisces is all about happiness, pursuing happiness, and letting go of feeling helpless. But it's also about intuition and just imagination and kind of like dreamlike state. It's a very whimsical type of energy. So let's find out for you what the overall energy of this new moon is for you. So what is the overall energy for Capricorn? What is the overall energy for Capricorn? What's the overall energy for Capricorn? Let's find out what the overall energy is for Capricorn. Okay, I'm going to take the top one because, well, I'll take all five. So what we have for you is we have a new romantic cycle begins. We have the communication is key. This is your time for healing. Be bold and make the first move. And your dreams need a practical plan. So you have a lot going on here in this overall energy here. It's actually a pretty detailed message for you. So let's find out a little bit more as we get into the tarot portion. So with every new beginning, every new moon is a new beginning. So let's find out what is your new beginning. What is the new beginning for Capricorn? What is this new beginning for Capricorn? Wow. Okay. So right off the bat, I'm getting the Lovers. It's Gemini energy. I'm also getting the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is a very traditional rule-following type of energy. So there's something here with love that's a kind of a traditional type of love. Now, whether that's like a structure or kind of a rule follower, we'll get more into it to understand exactly what the energy is, but it's very positive so far. And again, you have this, the first card out here was this new romantic cycle beginning. So definitely seeing that come through right away. So what is it that is going to grow for Capricorn during this new moon? You got a lot of jumpers today and lot of cards. That's not usual. So right away, I've got the Nine of Swords, Page of Swords, and Eight of Swords. I'm going to keep going with the spread and come back and clarify that a little bit. What is it that Capricorn needs to release during the new moon? You just want to jump out. Getting a lot of swords. So we're going to keep going. Because you have this new love coming in. That's a very stable, formal type of love. The Hierophant is all about a commitment. When I'm looking here, and you've got the Page of Swords, which is about communication. You have the Eight of Swords, which is a self-imposed restriction. And this is where I'm getting a little fuzzy on why you would be restricting yourself. Why would you be closing yourself off to something that is so positive to start with? And what I'm actually seeing here is some sort of anxiety, some sort of grief. And so I'm definitely going to do a little bit more clarifying. And what I'm seeing that you need to release I'm getting more swords energy. I'm getting the Queen of Swords, which is somebody who, if you cross her, she will cut you out of her life. And that's something that you need to release. And it's looking like maybe you are that type of person where you kind of, maybe it's not a 3 strikes you're out, maybe it's a 1 strike you're out kind of energy. And maybe that's what you need to think about. But you also are getting the 6 of Cups, which talks about just a past love, some sort of nostalgia. So there was something here that you need to release. Maybe it's something in your past related to this past love that's kind of causing you some sort of pause, whether this person reminds you of somebody else and that other person led you to pain, because I am seeing a lot of just anxiety, grief, and this self-imposed restriction. So I'm going to keep going with the reading here and do a little bit more clarity, because this seems to be very positive right off the bat. But I'm just looking at your cards again. From an overall energy standpoint, we had this new romantic cycle beginning where the communication is key. You're being told to be bold to make the first move, have some sort of practical plan. But I'm also right in the middle is this time for healing. So let's get a little bit more on what it is. What do you need to focus on? In order to make this happen, what is it that you need to focus on? What is Capricorn? Okay. You need to worry. You need to stop being so defensive. Let's find out what does the universe want you to know? Page of Wands, communication. I'm going to go ahead and do some clarifying for you. And I'm not going to clarify the Hierophant or the Lovers, because to me that's a very clear type of love. I really want to understand more about this grief that you're going through and whatever it is that puts you in this self-imposed restriction. So I want to understand that a little bit more. So I'm going to start with the 8 of Swords. So why is the 8 of Swords here for Capricorn? Why is the 8 of Swords here? Got a couple flipped. Ooh, okay, let's get a little bit more. Let's find out about this 9 of Swords. Why is the 9 of Swords here? Let's find out about the Page of Swords. Why is the Page of Swords here for Capricorn? Why is the Page of Swords here? You're definitely walking away. So something happened, and it looks like it happened in your past. Because what I'm seeing here is the 4 of Wands, which is coming through as some sort of, whatever it was, you thought it was going to go the distance and you thought it was going to end in marriage. You thought something along those lines, but what you actually found out is the person was the magician. And so here I'm getting the energy of a trickster. So somebody who kind of manipulated you, gaslighted you, pulled the wool over your eyes, however you want to interpret that. But there was somebody who misled you is what I'm really getting. And what that caused was some sort of anxiety, some sort of grief. And it really made you kind of retreat into yourself. And I'm also seeing that with the 8 of Cups. And you can see the 8 of Cups, he's walking away from what he thought he wanted. And that person in your past, and it's definitely coming through as a past energy here, was this Emperor. So the Emperor, he has his pros and his cons. The Emperor can be this very dominating person. He can be this very controlling type of energy. And he's coming across that way here as that type of energy, some sort of somebody who was dominating, kind of gaslighted you and caused you so much pain and anxiety that you actually are retreating into yourself. But what's coming through for you is something much stronger than what was in your past. This Hierophant and the Lovers is a much stronger love than what is coming through here. I mean, these are both major arcana cards. And when I look at the past and I see this Four of Wands, it was love, but not as strong as the love that's coming through now. And so what I'm seeing here also, I won't need to do any clarifying here because these other cards are actually telling me the entire story. So there was somebody from your past that you are cutting out of your life, and you are cutting out that energy. You are cutting out just whatever it is that they caused you, because it puts you in a self-defensive type of energy. So I'm going to do a little bit more clarifying here on the Seven of Wands. Why is the Seven of Wands here for Capricorn? Why is the Seven of Wands here for Capricorn? Why is the Seven of Wands here for Capricorn? Yeah, there was some sort of... I'm going to do a little bit more on that. No, I don't think I need to. There was a third party. So in your past, you're defensive because whoever this magician was in your past that was pretending to be the emperor in the right way had you in some sort of third party situation. And the third party may or may not be the person who was cheating on you. It could have been just an outside influence on the relationship. So that could have been anything. It can be a close friend. It could be a family member. Somebody was too involved in the relationship of two other people and your relationship with somebody else. And that really puts you into some sort of self-defense mode because you really can't control that type of energy. You can work through the communication within a relationship, which comes back to this communication is key. But there was something happening here where you didn't necessarily know what was happening with this third person. So how can you possibly be prepared for whatever it is that was coming through? I'm going to get a little bit more about this Page of Wands because the Page of Wands is communication. So let's find out a little bit more. And there's communication related to something creative, something passionate. Let's find out a little bit more about this Page of Wands. Why is the Page of Wands here for Capricorn? Judgment. So you're making a final decision on something, on this. So let's get a little bit more clarity and let's see which way you're leaning. Tell me more about the Judgment. Why is Judgment here for Capricorn? Why is Judgment here for Capricorn? Ooh, okay. More communication. So I'm getting the Eight of Wands, which talks about incoming communication. And what we have here is the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man, to me, is a positive card. And I'm actually seeing that as a positive card in this. If you can get to a point where you are in a pause. So what the Hanged Man does is you're thinking along a certain path and you have been hurt and you went into some sort of self-imposed restriction, and this new person may have reminded you from somebody from the past. What the universe is telling you is that person, this new person, isn't going to be the same as your old person, but because you have that most recent experience in your mind, you're going to imagine that this new person is going to mirror the old person, that this new relationship is going to mirror the old. And what the universe is saying is, let's take a time out. I need you to reevaluate all the facts and circumstances before you move forward. And when you do move forward, you're going to see things in a different light because you're not seeing the full picture right now. And with that, you have a lot of communication coming in around this Hanged Man. So when you're in this pause, you're going to really learn what's happening around you. What's going on with this new person. And it's going to allow you to make a better final decision in this whole piece. So Capricorn, as long as you take the steps needed, it looks like you could be really happy, but this is all going to be up to you. I'm getting, just to kind of go back to the beginning, what the overall energy was, you have a new romantic cycle beginning where communication is key. This is a time for healing, and you're definitely going to get that with the Hanged Man. Be bold and make the first move, and just remember to have a practical plan. So I hope you enjoy your reading, Capricorn, and I will see you next time.